If you've ever scrolled through your feed for hours only to feel more exhausted than when you started, you've experienced NPC mode. This is the sensation of existing as a non-playable character in a reality that's been hijacked. In this environment, the way we represent our lives online has become more important than the lives we are actually leading. This shift began long before the internet. In the 19th century, philosopher Ludwig Feuerbach observed a growing preference for the image over the object. He argued that we were entering an era where the illusion is treated as sacred, while the messy, unpolished truth is seen as something to be ignored or profaned. You see this in the gap between your physical surroundings and your screen. The physical world often feels slow and unrewarding, while the digital world is engineered to be ultra-high definition and hyper-saturated. We have reached a point where the digital version of reality feels more real than the world outside our windows. This is what we call the evolution of the scuff. Historically, human value was defined by being, by your direct actions and character. As the economy grew, value shifted to having. Your status was defined by your possessions. Now we have reached the final stage, appearing. Your value is no longer determined by what you do or what you own, but by the digital evidence you present to the world. This shift is the foundational trap of the modern world. By prioritizing how things look over what they actually are, the system ensures that we stay focused on a fake digital stream, making our physical existence feel secondary and powerless. The man who first mapped out the mechanics of this system was Guy Debord. 60 years ago, he and his underground group of radicals realized that society was moving toward a state of total simulation. In Section 4 of his text, Debord defines the spectacle as a specific type of social relationship, one where human interactions are no longer direct, but are instead mediated by images. Every time you judge a person by their profile rather than their actions, you are participating in the spectacle. Section 5 explains that the spectacle is a materialized Weltanschauung. A Weltanschauung is a comprehensive worldview or philosophy of life. In our case, that philosophy has been physically built into the world around us, turning our entire environment into a display for consumption. The system operates through a mechanic called separation. It breaks down local communities and families, then offers technology as a replacement for that lost connection. It forces everyone to speak the same official language, the language of likes, shares, and trends, which prevents us from ever having a genuine human conversation. The spectacle unites us only in our shared isolation. It keeps everyone logged into the same server, looking at the same images, while ensuring we remain too disconnected from one another to ever challenge the rules of the game. While it might look like a collection of advertisements or distractions, the spectacle is actually the primary output of modern industry. Our society's main job is no longer producing goods, but producing the images of those goods. Section 14 reveals the core rule. The system never wants you to reach a goal. It only demands endless, perpetual economic development. You are expected to run faster and upgrade constantly, even though the finish line moves further away the moment you get close. This cycle functions as a massive stamina drain. Debord calls this the lonely crowd. We are surrounded by more connection than any generation in history, yet we use that technology to isolate ourselves. The more connected we become through our screens, the more we lose our actual social skills and energy. You are kept in the game through the illusion of choice. The spectacle asks you to choose between different brands, influencers, or political factions. But these are just cosmetic skins. No matter which side you pick, the underlying game engine and the requirements of consumption stay exactly the same. This entire architecture is designed to burn your energy on fake conflicts. While you argue over which brand gives more aura, the system quietly extracts your time and data, turning your life into a source of profit. To reclaim your life, you have to face the ultimate enemy, commodity fetishism. This is the perception of social relationships, not as connections between people, but as economic relationships between money and objects. It is the state where the economy has completely occupied every moment of your social life. The boss uses the blackmail of survival to keep you in line. It manufactures artificial needs, the feeling that you will be socially deleted or become a bot if you don't own the newest gadget. It makes you feel like your actual survival depends on keeping up with the latest digital trends. This changes how you experience time. Ancient cultures lived in cyclic time. The spectacle forces us into alienated time, an irreversible timeline owned by corporations. It imposes a tax on your leisure. When scrolling, you perform unpaid labor, converting free time into consumption. Modern survival is a rigged trade. You are trading the finite currency of your biological lifespan to purchase abstract representations of happiness, images that lose all their value the moment you take them home and unwrap them. Simply studying the matrix isn't enough to exit it. To regain your power, you must move from being a spectator to being a subject of history. This means becoming someone whose actions actually change the world, rather than someone who just watches it happen. This requires you to deconstruct the influencer. In the spectacle, a celebrity is the ultimate NPC. They have voluntarily traded their actual personality to become a standardized object for others to imitate. They aren't leaders, they are employees of the image. The spectacle processes political power with the same cold logic it uses for fashion. Just as a trendy shoe eventually becomes obsolete, even the most intense personality cults are eventually discarded by the system. Joseph Stalin was once an inescapable image of absolute authority, but the moment the system's production cycle shifted, his image was thrown away like an out-of-style jacket. Reclaiming Rizz production means taking back your daily activity from economic laws. It involves destroying the divisions the system places between us and deciding for ourselves what our time is worth, rather than letting a market decide for us. True strength doesn't come from your digital aura or your follower count. It comes from shattering the screen in your mind and authoring a reality that is unmediated, physical, and entirely your own. You are left with a final choice. The L outcome is total submission. In this ending, humanity becomes a permanent race of bots, and the commodity finally wins, staring at itself in a world it built entirely for its own sake. The W outcome is where you wake up. You reject the NPC mindset and apply these theories to your actual life. You stop being a viewer and start being a participant. This text, Society of the Spectacle, provides the foundational logic for identifying the boundaries of the simulation. It is the original manual for anyone who wants to understand why their reality feels fake and how to start making it real again. Stop feeding the spectacle your time. Stop trading your life for digital approval. Log out, step into the physical world,